Another weekly episode of Initiative Coffee Company presents In the Red, where our intrepid heroes wander in a not so great place and meet sometimes not so great people. We'll find out if that is the situation tonight or not.
I thought they were great people.
Or if they are the not so great people, I suppose, could also be a situation. Last time on In the Red, our heroes managed to outsmart a pit eventually. It took a good deal of time to do so.
I would like to spend 6 to 10 more hours standing, just looking at it,
just looking down
and doing dumb things around it.
I was gonna fill it with sheep.
They were
I realize
for a very
now
long
how
time
bad it was.
They were for a very long time outsmarted by a 3-foot deep pit.
2.5 feet actually.
Right.
From my notes, which makes it. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing.
They met some awakened sheep, who were, I guess, agreeable. I don't know. And met a new person named Torg, who is a construct of sorts.
And
also,
Clyde, and they got a relationship.
Brought Clyde around and killed him twice more. He's,
Are we giving Clyde version
We
numbers?
didn't bring Clyde around.
What's that?
Does Clyde have version numbers? Every
No,
time he
it's
gets...
just the same Clyde.
It's just Clyde.
In my headcanon, there's like support groups for summoned animals that are led by Fey counselors to
That
address
actually
their
surprisingly checks out.
grief.
Well, that's what I mean. Is like you would think that in order to for the animals themselves to keep on getting resurrected, killed, they would just, to keep the chronology straight in their own head, they'd start like, hi, my name is Enix, and before I was Enix 2. Well, now I'm Enix 2, but before I was Enix. And
They add another number.
So here's the misconception, right? Summoned creatures don't die when they die; they just get sent home. So every time an explosion of flowers occurs from Clyde, he just gets pummeled back to the Feywild. Presumably, it involves some kind of pain, which is not great. But it's not like a death scenario so much as a bad
We're not privy to that
scenario.
We're not privy to that information, though.
That's true.
The last time he got poofed by the falling axe or whatever, did it generate another like cloud of flowers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure did.
Okay. All right,
I can only
great.
imagine that Torg is going like, ooh, and like picking that stuff up.
Yeah,
So
I've got
like,
this,
this is the best.
I'm just gonna make
Another
wreath
wreath?
out of like every single time that Clyde poofs. So I'm just gonna
You
be
know what?
like, you're gonna see just
hula girl.
That seems.
You're just
fine.
gonna see a walking wreath.
That seems fine. At the end of last week's episode, Clyde showed up. Rube Goldberg device of shenanigans occurred, killing Clyde, and then Morty immediately resummoned Clyde. So
I'm not quite done with this yet, though. So I really do want to make it so. I really hope that NX just might consider just using the flower corpses of these bodies and then giving it to anybody he doesn't like, and then they end up dead. Like, can we make that happen?
None of that. Those words didn't make sense in my brain.
No, like you know how if you receive a rose, like I can't remember what evil villain. If you receive it's a kingpin.
You're
Sure.
thinking
You
of
get
the Bachelor.
kingpinned.
They get kicked off the show when they get the rose, don't they?
No. But like
No.
kingpin gives you a flower, and it's like, oh, it's a flower. It's like, no, you're dead. Like I'm
It's
just
like
hoping.
B for Vendetta.
Yeah, we start collecting so many of them. It's like, all right, I gotta get rid of these. I've got too many of them, and then it's like that's our new death signal.
That's
All right, well,
that's dark for a group of plucky heroes. But all right,
I got 2 of them.
Mostly
Let's
good.
go.
They become fey creature enemies.
We're mostly aligned good, right, guys?
I'm a death cleric. I don't know what you're expecting out of me.
you're a grave cleric, not a death cleric.
I mean, but I work my best magic when everyone's dead.
Sure, yeah.
Even though I'm the tank, but we'll not talk about that.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
what was-
Last time you met Torg, and that's where we left off. So that's where we will pick up today.
What was the other kobold's name that was there? Like the little
We don't
serpent.
know. He's just
Yeah.
wearing a tux.
Okay. Do you not remember?
No, there's not. There's no notes from.
You don't know. You haven't asked.
Hi, Torg. Is your name Torg?
Yeah, it
Nailed it.
It is. Yeah. What?
Hey.
What are you doing here?
I'm like underneath Clyde, like helping Enix gather up all the flowers and stuff.
He is resisting you being underneath him. He's resisting anyone being near him at all.
But like I have like my face pressed against the ground and my arms out wide, and I'm just like walking forward trying to collect the flowers.
I see. You're trying to snowplow the flowers towards
Yeah!
A nightmare.
I'm a snow blender.
All right.
You're just nightmares.
What?
I look back at everybody and go, "What we're doing down here again?"
That's a good question.
We were just following the tunnel.
Do you know about this pit back there?
Yeah, it's to keep people away.
I have to commend you on that. It kept us away for a surprising amount of time.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky, don't you know? It's illusion magic and also abjuration magic, and then some long-term permanency spells.
I'm so
Permanency
right
should be long-term. That's true.
What can I do for you, fellas?
We're just kind of looking around, and we played with.
Not.
We
That-
heard some clanging. What you working on?
Yeah, we heard
I'm
clanging.
making some goodies for when my friends come back.
Who are your
Ah.
friends?
Have to see.
Cool.
Have to see. Wait, is other slap NPC to PC?
Yeah, check in on that.
Yes, it's NPC to PC.
Wait, who did what now?
Jason. Spit as you snowplow.
I snowplow and I
These
like
flowers.
run up to the. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, as you snowplow these flowers, you manage to spook Clyde, and he rears back on his back feet and horse slaps you aggressively in the face.
Oh man.
I would say that doesn't check, but it checks.
Take,
I see him.
take 6 points of damage.
I'll have that to
Sure.
3 points of damage.
That checks out.
There we go. Perfect. Wait, no. There we. I'm fading in and out of.
Ow! Oh no, Clyde! I'm just trying to clean up the mess down
What
here.
is this, an old Western newspaper? What is happening?
This is the session where we pay no attention and just play with video filters.
It's... I don't want to step on your fun, fellas. Yeah, so he says, what can I do for you? Why are you here?
Oh, Joe, God, it got so much worse.
So just
well, so
we were exploring the area because we've been exploring the region of Bell, just kind of seeing what's around, how we can help out, and we heard this clanking noise from far away, like from that tower, whichever way it was.
That's northeast of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, that checks out. There's some cave structures that make things echo in strange ways around here.
Ah.
That's how Pennyworth goes and gets me supplies when I need them.
name's Penny.
Is
Penny.
and I like
Pennyworth
look
your friend?
over at the kobold and I'm like, are you Pennyworth?
Yeah.
And I like run over and I try to do one of my high fives.
Yeah,
to
he
put
like
people in
steps
count.
back and like clearly
Dodges.
tries to like separate himself
Oh
from
no!
you in a way that looks like he is trying to be very proper and clean, and maybe you aren't.
Oh,
Oh shit!
He is wearing a tuxedo, remember.
it's true. I like mirror his movement and like nod, and I like turn around and flick my tail in his direction.
He doesn't really know what you're doing, and he goes back to pressing his clothes on him.
Okay, I'll mirror that too, and like like on my cloak and things like that, and poofs of dust and flowers like come off, and I'm like, oh, okay, and I scamper back over. So Torg, you mentioned you were making stuff for your friends. It sounds like you've been working on that stuff for a long while.
Pennyworth, how long has it been? And Pennyworth says, sir, it's been approximately 10 years, 11 months, and 21 days.
Years, 11 months.
You must have made a lot of stuff.
He kind of like tosses, like, it's not even like a thing. It's just like a metal plate. And he tosses it on a pile of like what looks to be random junk. And it makes like a clanging noise. And then make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw.
All of us?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
21.
17.
7.
Also 7.
Awesome. So as he tosses this piece of metal, there's like a blue arc that kind of jets out from the pile. And Spit, it strikes you, and then it strikes Dimitri, and then it strikes Clyde. And you guys can all take 23 points of radiant damage.
I will have that because it was a dex saving throw.
And once again, Clyde explodes into flowers.
No! No!
And once again, Clyde arrives, disappointed, and says, "Why are you
letting me live through this awful existence?"
My arms are still full of the flowers that I just picked up of Clyde the last time, and since you just went, you like catch the flowers as they're landing or as they're like falling down.
It's like the Mario Party mini game.
My guess is what happens is like essentially it's like Bruce Almighty's like, and that's like what you see like Morty doing as like he's like expecting like Clyde to come back. He's like, I know Clyde dies, and before all the petals hit the ground, it's like, it's like he spawns in his own petals again. And he's like, fuck, and like that's all you keep.
Since I've been like frantically trying to catch all these flowers, does it now mean I'm just like awkwardly? Is Clyde like here now?
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of horse right next to you.
Excuse me, Clyde. I didn't mean to be in your personal space. It's just, you weren't here.
You're not in my personal space. My personal space is somewhere else.
It's a different dimension.
Stop bringing me here. It hurts. It hurts badly.
To be fair, I'm trying to make the best of your horrible situation by making
the best of your horrible
infinite wreaths. I'm trying to bring joy to the people.
We're gonna find a way to somehow make it easier just to cast a spell, and he comes back instead of spending channel points to be like, cast Raised Dead. I grab one of his petals and he just turns into a horse again.
No.
Oh man.
He's been dead for less than 1 minute.
No.
So
this horse is not.
So Torg, it's been a long while. Have you been outside any time in that 10-year, nearly 11 years?
No, I just stay here.
Some friends outside had said that you sometimes come outside. What would be some reasons you might go outside?
I mean, if I need to grab supplies, sometimes I don't. Normally, Pennyworth does it, but sometimes he's not around.
Oh.
So your friends that you're making these things for, that pile of stuff really did kind of set me back a little bit there. It was a rather shocking experience. But your friends, do they happen to be like the Emerald Blades?
Yeah, they should be back any time now. They were gone for a while. They were gonna go take care of a thing and then come back, and it's been a while, but I'm sure they're fine.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole pile of shit is magical.
Yeah.
It is all magical.
Yeah. Pile of shit.
Yeah. It is it is all like scrolls and like. Yeah, like he makes magic items. That is what he does.
He literally just.
He's just a factory of magic items. So there's a pile of like metal scraps and leather scraps, and then on the other side there's a pile of like blue stones, like blue translucent stones.
Are they so the scraps and the stones are radiating magic?
So the stones are radiating conjuration magic very heavily.
Oh Jesus!
And the items are radiating like transmutation. And
does it seem like there's like a rhyme or reason to it? Like, is it like incomplete piece of metal of lightning bolts? Like,
so. I mean, how much do you want to investigate the items, I guess, is the question.
I guess I would ask him, be like, hey, I'll be real with you. Lightning kind of just happened. And how do you do that?
Yeah, I used to be real good at making magic things, but somewhere along the line, I lost some skill. I must have corrupted a file or something, and now I don't know. I'm practicing for when my friends come back.
Uh-huh.
Can I? Is he mentally all here?
You have no way of knowing that.
Can I?
What's the construct? So.
Oh, he is. Oh, he radiates magic too. I forgot him. Wait, he's radiating magic, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I turn over to Pennyworth and I ask, how long have you been here?
Well, I've been here. I served as the gentleman's gentleman for the Emerald Blades, of course. I buttled for them when they were in residence within Emerald Hall. They should be back any moment. I'm not sure what has kept them so long, but my expectation is our leadership corps will be back any day now. They went off to the south, to the desert to deal with a trivial matter, and they shall be back post-haste, I'm sure.
Did they tell you about how long they were expecting to be gone?
They did not, but my expectation is things come up. I don't know. It has been quite some time. I suppose at some point we should start coming up with contingencies on whether we should do if they don't return. But until then, I suppose we'll just keep doing what we're doing, as it were.
Have they gone on these kinds of expeditions before?
No, I mean, the Emerald Blades are quite known for their expeditions.
Of course, but how long would they normally be gone? Like, how long did it take to get that mammoth that's inside the residence?
Oh, that was like 3 days, I believe.
Now, considering that this expedition has taken approximately 1,000 times as long, have you grown concerned at any point? I mean, I would get nervous when my dragon was like away for a week or something like that. So, 10 years and 11 months is a long time.
Make an insight check.
I'm really digging the fact that you're the voice of reason right now.
Well, there's... I'm using a penny on that one.
Okay.
And using the other die. That would be a 17.
Sure. The words he says are, "No, of course I'm not concerned. They are intrepid champions of the realms. They are impervious to the mild offenses that encounter them in the dangers of the desert." And you look on his face, and he is like clearly like eyeballing toward Torg, and he's like, "No, they're fine."
Of course.
Just
And Torg says, "Yeah, they'll be back any day now. They're real good champs."
how does Pennyworth look? Is he like malnourished at all?
No, he looks like tired, but like not malnourished. I mean, based off your relationship with the one kobold, he looks about average weight, maybe a little thin, but not like sickly.
I'm looking to see if he looks like more malnourished, and then I look at my wonderful, wonderful compatriot, who is clearly one of the best kobolds out there, if not the best kobold.
Definitely one of the best fed. So
and also has great handshakes, tail shakes out there, which I would totally do if I had one, but I can't. Unfortunately. And I just wanted to see. I was really looking to see like if there was more than just physical like tired fatigue, versus like he's been kind of at the service of Torg. Has he been eating beyond that?
He looks well fed. I mean, like you were out in the kind of farm area, and a lot of it was unattended, but you didn't explore all of the farm, right? So you get the idea that somewhere there's.
I mean, they've literally industrial plumbing here, who knows what else they got? They probably have a dispenser for just good berry.
Could be,
probably.
But no, he does not look malnourished at all, as far as you can tell. He looks thinner than Spit, but Spit's got a pooch, so.
Dang, he's coming after you. Oh, this is an awkward one.
I turn over to Torg and ask, what are some of your favorite things to work on, and what did the Emerald Blades really like that you made?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you seem to be working really, really hard, and I gesture at all the stuff that's around. But surely there's something that you like that's your favorite.
No.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't pick a favorite. That would be rude to the other creations. It would be disrespectful to the people who buy the items that weren't my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Or is there one that you're particularly proud of? I know that you're mentioning that, you're practicing again and you're working really hard, but are there any pieces that you're like, wow, I did a really good job on that one?
Not as such. When you see the great artifacts of the past, your own work seems paltry in comparison.
So, go ahead, Anna.
Is the pile of stuff that he's made over in the corner?
Mm-hmm.
Is there 10 years worth of stuff over
there?
There's
a lot of stuff. It is a big pile of stuff.
He's been just cranking this stuff out, but it's not leaving the room.
No, I mean, no one has been coming in to get it. No.
Do you know somebody by the name of Anton?
Anton? Can you tell me how I might know him?
He's part of the Emerald Blades.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the recruits. I don't remember all of their names. It's been a while, but I think maybe Anton's name is familiar.
Anything?
I actually don't have a physical description of Anton. Otherwise, I was about to give him a. If we didn't get one, but I would have given him a physical description of Anton. And I'm looking through my 34 pages of notes, and I don't have any of that.
Know him as he is.
Yeah, Anton. He was one of our early recruits, I suppose.
Yeah. So when when the Emerald Blades were adventuring, so we know Anton because he decided to go and take up residence at a city nearby called Winds Hollow, which is actually where we live.
Oh, and that's a lovely town.
Yeah, and we ran into Anton and Mayor Ornath and other citizens of that place, and it sounds like Anton's really liking it there. It's probably possible that that more of the Emerald Blade have decided to take residence in other parts of Bel Tio, which probably explains why they haven't been back in a little while.
That makes sense, but I wish they would have told me ahead of time.
Well, that's where that's kind of where we're coming into play, because Anton had told us a lot about his time with the Emerald Blades and how fondly he looks on it, but still how fondly he looks on his time at Winds Hollow. So we're kind of passing a little bit of that message along to basically signal that, Anton is happy, and it's possible that others within the Emerald Blades are happy too. But we'd be also more than glad to be able to pass messages back along in the other direction too, in case you want to pass any messages or any belongings along, and we could let them know that you're really excited for them.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, Anton is stationed in Winds Hollow at the outpost there, so I can see why he'd still be there. He hasn't been reassigned as far as I know.
Yeah, exactly. And we're making our way to other places where we'll probably run into others that are stationed elsewhere within Bel, including Bel itself. And we'll be more than happy to pass messages along.
Sure. Jake, you managed to get Pennyworth to
walk down, I don't know if you want to come, I'm like, hey, I got some questions for you about the farm, clearly
the pictures in the pictures.
Yeah, just trying to get him to walk away. He's like, hey, and we'll be right back, kind of thing. Just be like, oh, so what's going on? It's out of earshot to some degree, from Torg while this is happening, just to be like, what's the dealio? You've clearly been out. Emerald Blades are not around.
He says, well, my duty is to serve the Emerald Hall and the inhabitants thereof. That happens to be limited to Torg and some sheep at the moment, but my duty remains my duty.
Who assigned this duty to you?
I'm
looking for a proper name. That's if you want to say at a different time, that's fine. I'm just like that. I'm looking for a proper name, just so we can figure out more.
Oh, sure. He says, Artis was the one who leveraged the contract. Torg was also there. I willingly took it upon myself with support and encouragement from Mayor Lear of Bel itself.
And Mayor Lear, okay.
This is
encouraged him or encouraged him?
He encouraged me to consider the position. He said it might be more exciting for me than being just another house servant of the mayoral estate in Bel.
You've clearly been out. You know that they're no longer around.
I mean, I don't know that, but
it's been 10 years, 11 months, and 21 days, and you've seen no one come back, I'm assuming. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. That was a short time that...
How old does he look?
You don't know Kobold age?
Well, I guess I'm comparing to Spit.
He looks older than Spit, for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't. You're what? How old?
My age is.
I feel like I would have this info, but I just don't. I don't want to make an assumption here.
No, I do have an age. Why isn't it written on my character sheet?
So does he look? I guess more so.
He looks to be like middle-aged by kobold standards.
Okay.
As far as you can tell.
But keep in mind that middle-aged by kobold standards could be like 100 years old.
I thought kobolds were. That's not. I don't know that. I don't know that. That's D&D, Jake. Not.
Yeah.
Exactly. Kobold standards. Okay.
Yeah. No, I think I'm like 20 or 30.
I was gonna say 22, but. So, do you just want to let this happen, or do you want to potential? But you know of one person that was part of. I mean, you heard the conversation. Anton is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're beholden to with what you said to the Green Hall. I just want to make certain. Like, do you?
Never mind. I'm 12 apparently.
Do you want to keep the ruse going? Like, we have something good going in Wind's Hollow, and we're trying to build up that. We're trying to figure out where the Emerald Blades have gone, and what has happened to Belt. I'm assuming the night that we've read about since in the Green Hall, that's just, we heard from the sheep. That was an experience on itself, but that there was just a day where everyone evacuated. I'm assuming that's what that day you were speaking of.
Right. No, it wasn't an evacuation so much as a rally. There were many dragons attacking. The Emerald Blades took it upon themselves to do their duty to defend the realm of Bel against said dragons.
And we have... how close is the tower to here?
A couple days.
Yeah.
There was a dragon if there was a dragon 2 to 3 days away from here that's been controlling this area that wasn't in Bel. Don't you think that's worrisome for you and your safety for Torg?
That is why we don't make ourselves known beyond.
I want to be very clear here. You understand that there's a tapping sound that we can hear from about miles away.
Yep.
Oh.
I have carefully instilled the legend of the dangerous tapping monster ghost. It's an old Emerald Blade trick. One day I'll tell you about the ghost pirates.
Actually, can you tell me about that now so we can just deal with that now?
Yes. In order to have untracked sway over the region, we spent a good deal of energy and resources spreading the myth of the ghost pirates that plagued the plains, where we had a folding boat and some long-duration illusion magics. And at night, we would unfold the folding boat into its largest form, put up some finagled doodads and illusions to scare off any would-be assailants, and spread the elaborate myth of the ghost pirate ship that plagued the plains.
I'll be very clear. My notes are going to reflect how I feel. I've got a bolded and underlined statement that I can't believe I'm letting this happen.
It was surprisingly successful.
The ghost
pirate.
The ghost pirate ships of the plains.
That's true.
I just want to make sure that I understood what you just said. That the boat was not on water.
Well, no, we weren't usually on the water, so we had to come up with an elaborate alternative. We unfold the boat, and we happened to have an immovable rod, so we would prop the boat up with the rod, and then sleep in the boat. Illusion magics, spooky ghosts. You get the idea.
So now we know. Okay. So how can we... I mean, would you like us to remove some of the dangerous material that's currently down here?
Oh, it's far less dangerous down here than out there. He's insane.
Can I fix that? I'm a cleric. I am someone that's a healer.
I don't know. Several clerics of the past and divine people from the divine planes themselves couldn't fix him. He's...
They get down there.
He's one of he's one of a collective that has lost his collective sensibility.
Mm-hmm.
So he's bent on doing whatever he was told to do.
No, I mean literally. He was of a hive mind, and over time, lost his hive mind status, and wandered here from the glass shores at the bottom of the sea.
Wait, he walked out from the bottom of the sea.
He started out of the water, and then entered the water, and then
he Pirates of the Caribbean did that cool thing, that super CGI cool effect where they were just walking on the bottom and they walked out.
I don't know most of the words you have just said.
No, I'm asking Brian. That's what they were saying. Like he came out of the water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's.
He is one of an army of 1,500.
Who we may or may not know is alive.
The army?
Yes.
Yeah. The army is, as far as I know, they should be inert if everything is going.
Where are they? Are they So they were this Torg was awoken for some reason.
This was before we knew about them. He arrived here, and when we were traveling the Glass Shores, we encountered the rest of the army, and it became very clear that number 147 was missing. And then we realized that we had been
so much, Brian,
encountering 147 for quite some time.
You're making me not want to rewatch this, Brian. Can you go to a different person talking for the moment,
Sure,
so I can write my notes?
Dimitri, what would you like to be doing right now?
So while they're all over there, I'm guessing me and Spit are talking with Torque.
Yeah, probably.
Or you could be talking with Clyde.
No, I wouldn't be talking with Torque because I would be like, so Torque, what kind of interesting devices do you have in your pile over here?
He says, follow me. I can show you all the neat trinkets and tricks I've developed over the years. And he goes to the pile and he pulls out a sword and places it in the air, and he says, go on, and it starts moving on its own.
No.
And then four more show up, and it's just a body of swords.
See, now I've been real interested in the pile of garbage that was over here, seeing as it was far more effective by accident than I tend to be on purpose in combat. But sentient swords, I'm out. This
sword's not sentient. It's just animated. I don't know what you're talking about.
Who is so? We don't need to get into it, but what is making the sword animate?
Oh, I thought that was clear. It's magic.
Well, I mean, who's is there someone controlling it, or is it just doing its thing?
No, it's defending me.
From what? We're not attacking.
No, I'm just showing you how the thing works. Your friend, he asked me what I had for him, and this is one of the things.
I regret it immensely.
It's not sentient, though. I don't understand what your concern is.
Moving swords.
It's just think of it as
you don't like swords. That's a weird preference to have, but okay. How do you feel about clubs and or pebbles?
Do you have any bows?
Bows? I don't at the moment, but perhaps we could work something out. I could work on a bow for you over time, you see.
Yeah. And you said pebbles.
Oh, yeah, they're just small rocks that I've inscribed magic into, and they are extra effective that way.
Can you, extra effective as in when they hit something, bad things happen?
Let me show you. And he takes one of the rocks. It's like a bag of pebbles, and he hucks it at the wall. And then he doesn't realize, but when it leaves his hand, it starts to kind of pivot, and it bounces. He loses track of where it's going. It bounces off the floor, bounces off the wall, pings off a shield that's hanging on the sidewall on the right wall.
Diving in the way. I'm diving in the way.
Pings off of that shield, and right before it crushes Clyde into a pile of flowers, it becomes a huge boulder, and seemingly does a lot of damage.
Can I try and take one of the Clyde wreaths that I have and try to like whip it out of the air before it turns into a boulder?
Sure.
I don't want Clyde to go again.
Let me have 5,000 points back, and you're gonna do that to me, man.
Make a sleight of hand check.
I'm not gonna use that die.
Use as many bennies and inspirations that we have. We're keeping this motherfucker alive.
Well, I guess it is like
sleight
the
of
second
hand?
to last. Yeah, it's right above stealth.
Well, how's a 12 do?
A 12 sounds like you have a dead, crushed flower horse.
Use a Benny.
I don't want to.
He says, "Oh no, not again, Clyde! I'm so sorry."
We have 22 to go through before next month.
Next month is a week away, bro. 2 weeks away.
Statement stands.
All right. Well, how about a 17 minus a Benny? Well, plus a Benny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, 17 will work. You managed
Yes,
to...
we're keeping this. This is 5,000 points for me. You remember that?
You managed to flick the pebble out of the air, and it becomes a boulder next to a large pile of hafted weapons. And the hafted weapons explode in a shower of blades and stabs. Enix, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Woof. Well, how about I use another Benny?
Yeah.
Well, that one wasn't much better. That's a 10.
Oh,
yeah, 6 spears land inside of you.
As long as the horse doesn't get hurt.
Well, now let's be clear. Did it land like in my chest, or has it like stabbed my foot?
We'll find out.
I haven't rolled the damage yet. We'll find out.
After this dice go explosively into your body, we'll find out.
So two of them get you like in the core area. One of them hits you like under like your arm, like in your kind of armpit. One of them grazes your foot, and one of them grazes your calf, for a total of 20 damage.
All to save your damn horse, Jake.
I'm the healer. You're gonna be fine. The quicker you die, the quicker you get back up.
Those are some very interesting pebbles, and you say you can work on a bow.
Hold on, you're just gonna gloss over the fact I'm standing there with spears, and you're like, oh, that's really interesting.
He's like pinned to the wall.
I feel like at this point
he's standing there like the victim of an unfortunate, untrained acupuncturist.
I'll be like, hold on, Pennyworth. I'm gonna go over there and like just tap you, like do a staple. I'm like, get back up there. You're doing great, and then just heal you. You can have 5 + 4 + your level, so 9 + your level back.
I go, whoa! Torg, does that happen often here? What just happened?
Don't ask him. He's gonna do. It's gonna happen again.
What do you mean? Often? Well, what happened?
My friend just got a bunch of spears. Like,
I don't know. It's not usually that unfortunate down here. Maybe he's tempting fate in some way.
Maybe.
Dimitri, I didn't mean to scream over you there. I just was very injured, and you just were carrying on.
The words you meant to say is Dimitri, help.
I don't put another arrow in you to match those spears, because that's the only way I know how to help from far away. But yes, Torg, your trinkets and they're all interesting. Do you happen to also make armor at all?
I can imbue most things, you see. If you bring me items and your intent, I can take some time to magify them up, if you will.
what this is out of character and like what can we imbue into armor that would be useful?
Right. So the way that crafting magic items works in this setting is you come up with a spell that you wish to be imbued into the item and the intended and desired effect of that spell, and then Torque makes a roll, and if he's successful, something gets imbued into that item, no matter what. But based off the success of the roll, it determines how close to your intended effect that is, and how I guess the magnitude of the power of the item.
Would I be able to have like my studded leather armor like imbued with like Goodberry?
I don't have any idea what you could possibly want the desired effect to be. But maybe he doesn't have access to all the spells, so he's an arcane caster, so he has access to like wizard, sorcerer, warlock spells, and I guess bard spells.
Then can I ask a follow-up question?
Mm-hmm.
The real question I want to ask is making magical items so I don't have ooze garbage happening to me. To make it either like a magical shield, like for instance, end goal +1 shield, but there's no direct +1 shield minus having like.
Yeah, that's not how magic items with Torque work. So,
is it like items of shield, where it's like I can just cast shield out of it? I guess that's like if I'm looking for since we've already described the +1
sort of like a resistance to an element or something like that.
Right, and there are spells that are like resistance. Like if you wanted just a +1 shield, like.
Can he do that, or is that not him?
You could. You would say, like, I want shield imbued into this shield to increase the armor value of this shield.
Okay.
And based off his success, his current level as a magic crafter, and a little bit of random chance, the impact of that shield spell would go into it, right? To a maximum of 5, but that would be obviously the extreme, right?
A boy can dream.
Like I will tell you that you will have to use him more frequently to get to the point where a shield spell would imbue a +5 bonus.
I would be shocked if a +5 so I guess then the follow-up question to that is, so he imbues a shield, a +1 shield, or as I say shield, and we get to the +1 level. Is everything afterwards just beyond that? It could be more cost, like resource intensive, or could it be a situation of then his next roll could remove the +1 from there?
So the way it works is if you try to enchant an item that is already enchanted, there is a substantial risk of the item exploding.
Okay. I was thinking like if something he created, so he would understand.
Right. No, and I understand that, but like the way it works is like, as you get more skilled, you get a higher maximum number of levels you can enchant in an item, right? So like, the levels are based off the level of the spell. So over time, like you can get up to 10 maximum levels imbued in an item if you work at it long enough. So like presumably if he was at that rank and you had a +1 shield, yes, he could imbue it again with a different spell. You just can't imbue the same spell more than once.
Okay.
And you can't benefit.
It sounds like more like a downtime kind of.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Kind of thing.
And you can't benefit from the same spell effect more than once. So you couldn't have like a shield spell imbued into a shield and also your armor.
Wait.
Because you'd be benefiting from the shield spell twice.
Yeah.
Even though they're different. Okay. Even though they're different items, it's your
the same
character
spell.
Can't. Got it. That's interesting.
Which is kind of a nod toward older editions where like the bonuses didn't stack. But it's a unique system from that also. So.
Huh. That makes everything a little more difficult. Okay.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be easy. I don't want to give you a +5 shield tomorrow, so.
I'm just looking for a +1 shield. I'm not even looking for a plus. I'm just making things so I don't have like stuff evaporating out of my body as I'm the tank.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm looking for. All right.
There are currently some shields on the wall.
We have 2 that I know of. I have 2 that I know of.
I mean, there are shields that are radiating magic on the wall.
Well, I don't want to be rude and take that stuff.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we
I'm
could say
not
what
in the conversation. That was more of an out of character. I'm still with what's his face.
Okay.
So, what kind of... This is back into talking with. So how long do you think it would take you to say, like, and I pull out my bow and be like, add some magic stuff to this bow?
Well, that would depend on what the magic stuff was and how much I liked you. We just did meet, and you're kind of asking me to do you favors. That seems a little presumptuous.
I was highly interested in your creations and just wanted to see like what you would be able to do.
I can do some stuff. I don't know.
Is there anything that you need right now?
No. I have Pennyworth. He does the things I need.
Is there anything that you think Pennyworth might need?
Pennyworth, is there anything you need? Pennyworth leans into you, Morty, and he says, I can persuade him to be more agreeable if, well, yes, if you were to reach out to our former network and let them know that we are still here and they are still welcome in Greenhall. I imagine we could come up with some sort of understanding in terms of you acquiring new items and us acquiring old emerald blades, as it were.
Do you like to reassemble the emerald blades here? Is that what I'm gathering? Just so we can cut out the formalities. That's what you're looking for.
I don't know about reassemble, but yes, if they were to come and
show up
or just or send word that they're all right, yeah,
I can definitely do that. But I've gathered through the conversation here, he understands that the emerald blades are not.
I don't want to know what happens when he decides that the thing he thinks is the thing that's true.
No, not him. Pennyworth.
Oh yeah, he's fairly certain that
he's like
been
they're
in the
gone.
outside, yo.
Right, like
if
the
they're around,
were once like 2,000 people. So like presumably there are like scattered remains.
But like he understands there's not 2,000 left.
Right, he knows. Yeah.
Okay.
He's also aware that like a large contingent of emerald blades went south to the Glass Shores. But presumably
also went through Bell. And he understands that Bell's not okay anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like I'll say absolutely. I'll say it loud, like absolutely. That's like I lean into like yes, absolutely, like that's a thing, totally, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like we know at least of a few that are, we at least know one, and then along our travels we'll let them know because this is clearly a installation that means a lot, and yeah, certainly. And then he can relay that info to Torg whatever way that is the proper means that Pennyworth decides to say that, but
Sure.
Amenable.
He heads back over to Torg and he says,
"Oh no, I actually have one more question.
Oh,
or a couple more questions."
And addresses you again.
Take. There was a statement that Torg came from a hive mind.
Mm-hmm.
Is that hive mind gone, or did you just was the Emerald Blaze choose to get rid of it? Did they keep it? Did they avoid it?
No, my understanding is it is currently on the shattered coast of the Glass Shores, protecting, a valuable asset and a friend of ours. I'd rather not go into details. It's very secure information for such a recent meeting, if it were.
No, it makes sense. How far away is the Shattered? I mean, just like reference-wise, in terms of maps, how far away is the Shattered Coast?
So it's like 500 miles south of the southern coast of this continent.
They're protecting a friend. Was it wait? Is it an item but also a friend, or just a friend?
Just a friend.
A friend. This is 500 miles south of the southernmost tip.
Yeah, I'll have to double check the maps, but it's well south of the south end of the southern coast of this continent.
That's a long distance away. All right.
You should read that as like an inaccessible distance for you.
Oh no! It's more,
that is more not a thing that you can like take a side trip for. That's like
oh no, that would completely change the direction of a campaign.
Sure,
I'm aware of that. No, I'm just trying to put in relation to where we are, like how far away he is, kind of thing. And I do look at Pennyworth and go, beyond the current relationship and stuff you have, is there anything we can like personally do for you?
No, I think I do believe everything is going fine.
I mean, I'm saying beyond your roles and duties, is there anything we can get for you or make anything easier? Like kind of just like extend beyond what he has as the Emerald Blade servant kind of thing, or server person. Like, is there any?
He says, I resent the notion that I am a mere servant of the Emerald Blades. I am also their guiding voice in all matters of ethics and of manner.
You know what? You're doing a great job. I'm just trying to make sure you're well taken care of.
I do believe that I am all right. Yes,
so, along those lines, do you know the circumstances of what went on around here the day the Emerald Blades left?
Well, I do know that Bell was sacked. There presumably was some sort of infiltrant involved, some sort of rabble-rousers within the city itself. In addition, most of the outlying towns were very shortly thereafter destroyed or taken over by draconic enemies, as it were. We expected a few dragons were manageable by our numbers, but unfortunately that we underestimated the numbers of dragons, as we didn't expect them to be so collaborative. Typically they are rather isolationist in their endeavors, but for some reason they seem to be united in their endeavors.
Okay. Do you know anything about the jail that's topside? Well, the jail underneath one of the barns.
He says, I mean, I'm aware of the jail, yes. What particularly about it? I haven't really entered there recently. It doesn't really come up.
So on our way to where we found you here, we entered the jail, and it looked like there was people had actively broken other people out of that jail.
Mm-hmm.
There were broken locks. There's a dead guy up in there, a dead dwarf, I believe, shackled to the table.
Oh, just a moment. That is a slanderous accusation, if true. If not true, give me a moment. And he goes to like a bookshelf, and he pulls out like a ledger, and he starts paging through it, and he says, "No, we released him. Oh. My apologies. It was not, in fact, a slanderous accusation. It was quite accurate that the gentleman was presumed to be in line with the assailants on the night, and deemed too dangerous a prisoner to release. The others, for their minor crimes, theft, graft, those types of things were released in hopes that they would help in the defense efforts, and to my understanding, they did as such things went, but they were not particularly successful in the endeavor.
And I'm probably going to overthink it here. So who actually maintained the jail?
But members of the Emerald Blades.
Okay, I only asked because the locks to the jail cells appeared to be broken, as if someone was breaking them out of the jail.
Yes. I have notes here that they were released post haste. The key had broken in one of the cell doors, and in order to free the remaining prisoners, the doors were broken, and presumed it was presumed that the prisoner's safety in general was more important than the structural integrity of a lock that could easily be replaced.
I see.
He just like staring up at you like
is it relevant at all what this dwarf did to be considered too dangerous to be let out?
He was speaking the words of she who would later be named the Calamitous Intent. Of course, not all of us realized at the time that we were all working on her behalf, but alas, he was working on her behalf from the more direct side of things rather than being coerced into it through ruse and negotiation of moral.
Wait, hold. Calamitous Intent?
Yes, I'm surprised you haven't heard. She's well regarded as the largest villain of the Empire's history, frankly. She managed to raise a substantial army against the Empire. I happen to know in order to protect us from something far more dangerous than her army. But alas, the Empire saw things differently when they decided to write the official record.
So she raised an entire army against the Empire.
Well, against all of us, frankly.
Against the Empire, and through and all of them, and everyone. Yeah. What did you consider more dangerous than the Calamitous Intent?
He was working on her behalf. We didn't realize at the time that we were working for her in her large scheme.
Who? Emerald Blades?
All of us, yes. The Emerald Blades. She recruited us through another guise, as it were, of Magda, the priestess of the sun.
Magda.
She convinced us that we had to fight this powerful growing army, and we later found out that unfortunately she was the one raising that powerful army in order to destroy what did it referred to itself as the Speaker of the Void.
Does this have anything? So while we were in the farmhouse just before coming down here, we found. Are you familiar with the contract? The contracts that were signed between Hutchinson Trade Company and the Emerald Blades?
I am, yes. I'm familiar with all the contracts signed on behalf of the Emerald Blades.
Does what you were just speaking of have anything to do with those contracts? Because the terms seemed a little. They seemed odd.
Yes.
So is I'm assuming that.
Again, I would like not to discuss those particular matters, as we are new acquaintances after all, and there are certain individuals who unfortunately are at great risk should that information be released to the general public, and in the interest of their safety, I would prefer to refrain from going into details.
Okay. I'm genuinely trying to figure out how to like articulate my question right now.
While they're talking, I'm kind of going around and helping Torque kind of pick up and arrange all of his stuff.
Yeah. There are many shelves and drawers. It looks like it's the first time that he's organized his pile of junk in quite some time. And as you kind of like sort things out, he's like, "Oh, I didn't even think to do that. That will make things much more tidy and presumably safer, as it were."
So just okay, real quick, out of character, had we heard of the Hutchinson Trade Company before we got here?
You know of it. It is a large corporation.
Okay.
And they are one of the main signatories of the Commonwealth in Tara.
All right. But he won't talk about it with me because we just met. Okay.
Clarification. So I got down in my notes. So the dwarf was speaking words of the calamitous intent. Who was considered the largest enemy of the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
She raised an entire army against the Empire and essentially everyone else. Apparently, the Everblades were recruited through another guise known as Magda, the Priestess of the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were told essentially from Magda to fight against the Speaker of the Void. Am I on notes?
Yeah, that
Are there things I'm missing?
vaguely correct, yeah.
Well, no, not vaguely. I'm asking Brian. Is that what was said?
Yes, all of those are true facts, and also what was.
Or I guess, or not necessarily true facts. They were statements that you made that were from him.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure my notes reflect correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Who the heck is the Speaker of the Void?
You have no idea.
I'll bite.
Check the book.
I look at the book.
You see no reference to the Speaker of the
Void. And then I pull out my other book, which is a bunch of my doodles, and like hope that it might be the actual secret book of the Void, and look at my book intently.
No, you don't see anything about.
And then I definitively go like, "Where's my nearest book?" I close the book like, I have no idea who that could be. I look. So does he not know who the Speaker of the Void is either?
Not particularly. He says he only heard about it secondhand.
So what were the circumstances that led to this contract being signed in the first place? Like, why was this deal struck?
That seems like a very exuberant question to ask. I don't. It's not particularly relevant to your endeavors, I don't think.
I'm just curious. I see pieces of paper that I don't know what they mean, and I just wonder why they exist.
There was a need to contract services, and you have a contract indicating those services. Also, why do you have our contract?
It was in a chest in the farmhouse. It was just hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't remember the exact circumstances that led to it. Did we have to do something to...
Yeah, it was in a secret compartment.
Well, it wasn't a secret compartment so much as we pushed the button. Okay, so I turned back to Pennyworth. Like, to be quite honest, it was a complete accident. I think Spit or Dimitri sat down in the chair.
That seems like an odd thing to accidentally come across, but okay.
I'm just telling you what happened. One of us sat down in the chair and accidentally brushed a button on the underside of an armrest, and then a chest went.
I'm sure that's the case. We'll have to be more careful about where we, what secret compartments we hide our contracts in the future. I'd
like to immediately interject and go. So, really quickly, we have been trying our best to secure the trade routes from here and around the cities. Is there anything that you might need that make your life a little bit easier, at least for handling Torg? Like, just to kind of like take the spotlight off that, just to see maybe it can be hey, there could be like a little bit of a horse carriage kind of thing heading your way for hey, do you need this? Is there anything we can get you? Like, I know not no longer personal, but like more for Torg, like just to make his job a little easier.
Yeah, I suppose if you could find a way to get rid of these items, that would be.
How willing are you? Are you in charge of the items? Is he in charge of the items?
It's a group effort mostly, but he won't leave, and they are often more than I can carry. And so
maybe we could turn a profit on them and get the gold, and if there's any supplies you absolutely need, we can maybe do an exchange system, and because I know we've established some sort of caravans of buying stuff and selling items, and maybe you could put some use to where the town's at and reinforcing Wind's Hollow, who you've said, and also he said it was a nice place, or was it Torg that said it was a nice place?
Torg did.
And you say, making that place even more hospitable for the good work that he's doing that
he says,
has Emerald Blades people in it.
He says certainly
that's
certainly
my nudge,
certainly that would be a very useful endeavor. My only concern is most of these items don't work correctly, and they work incorrectly in unpredictable ways.
It's like a grab bag.
Essentially, yes.
We could sell it just as that.
Magical blind bags. What could go wrong? Sure. If that seems something that would be agreeable to you, I would be very happy to.
I mean, it's just we're at this point. We could figure we have a wonderful, 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 wonderful pack animal. No, friend. Gia.
Is that Clyde here?
No, he's comic relief.
Oh, that's a rude thing to say about a horse.
You're not wrong, but it's still funny. And do you have any understanding what their background is, by the way? Them two? I mean, you've been here for 10 years, 11 months, and 21 days. Yes. And he was like, Clyde! And then,
yes. So, unfortunately, Torg was gifted. His interest in magic items came when he was gifted with a wand that was rather unpredictable, or intended to be unpredictable. And then, unfortunately, it was not. I've heard mythical tales of this Rod of Wonders before, and it was not. It was intended to be fairly random, but the fates forced the same spell to occur regularly, summoning Clyde to our assistance before, unfortunately, usually being immediately. And he takes a step back and he says, "Come here." Before being immediately, and he hauls off and slaps the crap out of you. And he says, "That's often what happened to Clyde." And then he would disappear in dramatic fashion.
Oh, that's where that came from. Got it. Because I was about to force myself to slap him. And I go, checks out. As I feel like I'm putting my jaw back into place. I'm oh yes, very good, very good. So that's a thing, I guess. I do have some other questions that maybe are not so much related to the Emerald Blades. If you're willing to entertain.
Sure.
What is your knowledge about the Fey spirits around here?
The Fey spirits?
Yeah.
Are there Fey spirits around here? I don't.
Does it seem like he just doesn't know?
Yeah, so, you're not sure how long he's been here before 10 years ago, but you know that the Fey spirits have not had a major impact in this realm in 100 years. There's families that have kind of kept to their patron spirit, but it hasn't been a major. It's been essentially folklore for a long time. There hasn't been a lot of active pursuit of these spirits, presumably as long as he's been in the region.
Okay. All right, that's just a dead route. But I'll continue further. have you heard of any things happening to the south in the Ironwoods? I don't know how much interaction you have with individuals, but I assume that your procurement of items might be beyond that of, you got worked metal and the like. You might interact with some traders, maybe.
I do know that the supply of ironwood has recently been, I mean, not so recently. It's been pretty minimal for 2 to 3 years now.
Supply, you said?
The supply of ironwood.
Oh, supply.
And he says that I don't refer to the wood from the ironwood. I refer to the literal ironwood the forest is named of. It's been largely, there's been no trade very recently.
Okay. Have you acquired anything from there that we get for you?
Normally we craft items based off what we have available. We don't have an intention of the item before we check our supplies, as it were.
Is that attributing to the fact that his crafts have gone downhill?
No, resources are just very limited, so we try to make do with what we have. Obviously, there's a lot of clutter here. I would prefer it if we used our resources here before we started bringing in several other things to take up space in our cave.
No. I think we need to clear that up. If we can remove these items, then you have the capacity to organize resources in a much more.
That's correct. Yes.
So, let's first off try potentially to get rid of or to repurpose said items.
That is a very
elsewhere
diplomatic statement. Yes, that seems like an agreeable term.
And potentially get you more resource efficient / maybe end goal like point. I don't know what the wording is. It's like just make it so like
targeting resources for specific items.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
Let's just to make it more efficient, and maybe you can help the emerald blades that are still out there a lot better, and which I think would satisfy your contract.
I would be very pleased to help our people. That's something that we have not been able to do very seriously in a good time.
I do have one more, and then I think only one. I hope only one more. How does one? We are not emerald blades, but we are definitely following the path that the emerald blades have carved, because they were trying to instill peace in the region and trying to instill safety for the people around. How does one actually become an emerald blade?
Well, I don't know that one does these days, to be frank. I don't know what... normally there would be a council to agree upon the inclusion of a new member, but the council is largely... they are mostly deceased, unfortunately. I don't know that... we didn't really have a contingency plan in place should the leadership fail in one of their missions. And unfortunately, the last mission with this speaker, only one of them survived.
Is that the one that you... Never mind. Can I propose something?
Yes, you can, of course.
Well, was he going to say he's supervised by the group?
No, he supervises the rest of Torque's kind.
Yes, the one that's protected.
Well, he is also protecting the one who is protected.
There's an emerald blade that's alive that is protecting the one that is a friend that is protected by the rest. So it's another person in addition to the group.
It's a deep hole to fall down. It's not worth going into at the moment.
I guess what I'm asking is that group, that construct group, protecting that person, or is the construct group plus one more protecting a friend?
The latter, I suppose.
So there's another person in addition to the constructs that's protecting a friend.
Yes.
Okay. The second thing I'm going to ask is, would it make sense for you, who has the most experience that we know of the Emerald Blades, be someone that could potentially reinstate the Emerald Blades until someone who is your superior shows up?
Perhaps. I don't know if there's a lot of value in the Emerald Blades these days. I don't know.
People believe in things, though. And I show him my book and I say, this is something that I believe in and I'm trying to follow. And having someone who is so devoted to the cause brings me hope that there is potential for peace in the area, and we are trying our best to bring that peace. And my hope is that maybe one day we can meet the people that you so loyally followed and believed in, that we could potentially become something like that.
You might be confusing causes and effects. I loyally led them to the right decisions, as it were. And
well, if you're so willing...
The appropriate stature of their station.
So if you're willing to say that you are someone that led them to the right decisions, then if we bring people, or we are people that could potentially follow the path that you have led, it seems that you might be the person that we'd want to lead.
Unfortunately, it would not be my responsibility or privilege to induct new members into the Emerald Blades. The only individuals that could do so would be surviving members of the Emerald Blades. I was a servant and confidant of them, a mentor, as it were. You would have to convince Torg to.
Have you ever met someone named by the name of Anton?
Yes, I believe we had one Anton stationed in Wind's Hollow at the outpost there.
Would he constitute as someone that could lead until...
He would constitute as one of the members that could do so, but he would need support and assistance from other full-fledged members, which, to my knowledge, consists of Torg at the moment. I'm not a member of the Emerald Blades.
Huh.
I am an associate and mentor of them. I am a servant to them and a guide of their moral fiber, but I was never a member of the Emerald Blades, as it were. I was always a distinction.
Would you ever want to be?
That would make my position precarious. I don't know that would be an appropriate position for me to take up. It would step on the relationship building I am responsible for between them and the city of Bell, should she ever recover.
Damn it, Alfred! I hear you! I hear you!
What?
Alright. Alfred, like how Batman is like Batman, but Alfred's just a separate entity who doesn't abide by Batman's rules at all. That's how I'm imagining who this is. He's got a shotgun, somewhere else.
His last name is Pennyworth. Of course, it's Alfred.
His last name is not Pennyworth. His name is Pennyworth.
It is Pennyworth.
What?
Excuse you.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Alfred's last name is Pennyworth. That's what
it's. God, what a conundrum.
Nobody tell Warner Brothers. They'll be on my ass about that.
I was totally trying to get him to become the new head of Emerald Blades.
I mean, I know what you were trying to do, but
and you were not wanting it.
Yeah.
The whole time I could hear in my head, I heard Spit saying, "If the Emerald Blades are," I'm sorry, I'm butchering your voice. "If the Emerald Blades are gone, that means you're the leader of the Emerald Blades."
That's literally what I was trying to get to. Now we just need Kim to come by and go, "Well, it sounds like you're actually the head of the Emerald Blades."
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know, guys.
Yeah, you're actually the head of the Emerald Blades. I'm so upset right now. 1 hour and 23 minutes.
I'm sorry.
I knew that was gonna happen.
I'm sorry you couldn't progress through 8 months of campaign in an hour and a half, Jake.
I tried.
Yeah.
That's all I had for the moment.
Okay.
Now I'm digesting.
Will, sorry, Enix, you notice you're kind of talking. Hey, thanks. Oh, is it Metal Cat?
Metal Cat.
4 months. You,
Jim!
Enix, notice as you're talking to, were you talking to Pennyworth or were you talking to Torg?
I was talking
He's
to
been
Pennyworth.
both places.
Sure. You guys hear a loud crash in the large room.
Wait, which large room?
That large room. Which one?
Where Torg is. Where
where me and Torg are arranging things.
Yeah.
And me.
Sure. You guys all hear a loud crash. And it occurs to you, Dimitri, that the shields that were hanging on the wall, one of the hooks has come loose. And the shield fell off the wall and started rolling, and then collided into a barrel of javelins that then fell over where the javelins all fell out of the barrel, right underneath Clyde, where he did some like weird horse ice skate moves on them until he failed, and then fell hard on his leg, breaking it, impaling himself on many javelins, and exploding into a pile of bouquets of flowers.
So I unpin myself from the wall because am I still pinned to the wall with javelins? Have I been having a conversation with Pennyworth this entire time?
Yeah, like... I think you probably are.
Well, I would like to pull the javelins out of me and collect the wreaths. This is going to be one hell of a wreath. I don't know if I should make 3 small wreaths or 1 huge wreath.
Or 3 huge wreaths, frankly.
That is a lot of flowers.
It is the volume of a horse in flowers.
Times 3.
Yeah.
Not saying
go big or go home.
I just
more, but I don't have enough. I'm not gonna do it again. Brian
I just
killing my characters.
I just kind of look back and like notice the shield that it fell down, and I was like, "What does that shield do?" Talking to Torg.
Oh, that's just it's a magic shield.
What kind of magic?
I honestly don't remember. It's been a long time. We've been down here a while. I make a lot of things. You're welcome to give it a try and find out if you like, though.
Hey,
yes.
Torg, is any of this stuff like categorized by age? Like, hey Torg, do you have any idea what of this is your older work and what of it is your more recent work?
Sometimes without a effective way to catalog things, I lose track of things, and so no, I don't know. Quite remember what's old and what isn't. I know the stuff that's hanging in displayways is older than the stuff that's kind of thrown around the floor, but I don't know beyond that. So I guess that shield would have been pretty old, but I don't know.
Okay. Hey, Dimitri, you should probably check out the older stuff because you're picking up what I'm putting down.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, so I'm interested in checking out the shield, see what it does.
Sure.
I pick it up and hold it up.
I hide behind my own shield.
It looks as if it'll take kind of an hour to figure out. It does look like it's kind of an attunement-based item.
If I attune to the item, does that mean the item stuck to me then?
If it's cursed.
Hey, Morty, you want a shield?
I'm not near you right now.
If it's cursed. Oh man, that means it's going to be a random roll for a random something.
Yeah, so the way that cursed items work in this setting is magic items that are made unsuccessfully are cursed items. So there's probably a 50-50 risk, to be honest.
With using this? Well, thankfully I didn't put on the Ring of Featherfall because that would have been a lot of fun. I personally don't have a use for a shield. I was just trying to figure out if it could be useful for us.
I mean, if you want to give me a shield, you can give me a shield. I'm not next to you.
Oh, well, can I walk this shield over to Morty and be like, "Hey, Morty,
Yes.
I got you a shield."
I will, with my magic eyes, look at the shield.
It's magical. Yes.
What kind of magic is it?
Transmutation.
I don't like that.
I mean, transmutation will come up on every magic item.
Oh, because it's magically imbued.
Yeah.
Oh. I'll go and say, cool shield, what does it do?
Says, I don't remember. It's been a long time. Maybe you weren't in the room when I said that just a minute ago.
Oh, sorry. Hey, Tori, I want to apologize. I wasn't listening. I was talking to your good friend here, and I wanted to say I'm sorry for not listening. You had a lot of important words. And
oh no, that's okay. Like Pennyworth is a great guy.
Yeah, he is. He really is. We got some good things that could happen here. I say, I kind of whispered to Pennyworth, I'm like, thanks for everything. I really appreciate it. And if there's anything else we can do, and I want to say, like, I give him a business card, but we don't. I don't, because we don't have business cards. We're like, but we're gonna help.
Okay.
And I actually make when we're heading back, I'm like, hey, what do you know about Goldholm?
Are you asking Torg or are you asking Pennyworth?
Pennyworth.
This is, to my knowledge, it's a pretty successful gold mine. Oh. It's probably used to be a pretty successful gold mine.
Yeah, whatever you thought happened there, we hopefully got rid of the problems.
Well, I suppose, given time, assuming the
what
mine
happened?
isn't
What
flooded.
happened there? What is there? Well, what do you know that happened there? That was a problem. And when did that happen?
I don't know specifically what happened. I know that most of the cities in the region of Bell were undone, as it were, on the night in question or very soon after. So,
can we give it a formal name that we all know we're talking about? What would you call that night?
Bad news. I don't know.
All right, it's called the Night of Bad News.
Okay. My expectation is that not long after the night of bad news, Goldholm is probably sacked by the same denizens that sacked Bell and the other cities and towns throughout the region.
Yeah, that sounds like a real night of bad news.
I would tend to agree with you, yes.
And I walk back with everybody, and I hate not having identify, because I don't have that spell. Cool. So I'm gonna say to everybody, hey, I think we have an idea of what we can do here. We have some people. We have a contact in Wind's Hollow, and I'm saying this to Torg as well. That is an Emerald Blade that I think could benefit from some of these items out here that you have here, and to make your workspace more user friendly. And I was talking to Pennyworth about it. I'm thinking maybe we get you some better. Better supplies to work with, so you have a better, an overall working experience, so you can better outfit the Emerald Blades. What do you think?
You found more Emerald Blades. That's great. Yeah, I'd love to help them out and give them stuff and things.
And maybe we can get some items made for those guys to outfit the cities of Wind's Hollow and some other areas more efficiently than than your current work right here. And I feel like my hand keeps going, and then it keeps going, and it's like I turn. It's almost like it's actually right here. Like it's almost dangerously close.
The Animaniac style, like whip pan. Going across like just miles of stuff.
Yeah, it's like I feel like we could get rid of this.
He says, "Oh, I mean, all this stuff. It's just practice items. I don't know if it's ready to be seen by the public, or And Pennyworth says, "No, Torg, it's very, very finely crafted and should definitely be utilized. It's going to waste here in this small, cramped space with little storage. It should definitely be sent to the winds to." And Torg says, "Oh, okay, I get it. That's fine."
Yeah, it's able to see its better potential more than just being here, and we'll be able to. And while these are great, you even yourself said that there could be even better things too. And I think what Morty's trying to say is, like how Pennyworth goes out and fetches whatever supplies that you need, we can assist with that and potentially help bring higher quality stuff for you to work with that could maybe help you also improve in ways that you wanted to be able to improve.
Well, that'd actually be great. Maybe with some better equipment, I could do better work.
What kinds of equipment do you work with right now that you think could be better?
I mean, supplies mostly. I'm just using scraps here. You know,
yeah.
I ran out of already made weapons a long time ago to imbue and magify, but if you could bring me new items to work on, I wouldn't have to. I'm not a great blacksmith, you see. That's why it takes me so long and so much tinking to get items to imbue. So if you were to provide me with non-magical items, I could probably magify them very well.
Wait a minute. So he's a magical blacksmith, but not a good normal blacksmith.
Correct. He's very good at Well, he's passable, maybe, at imbuing items, but not very good at crafting the base materials, no.
Right. Did it seem like Pennyworth, when he was saying a bit ago about saying, like, yes, you should get your goods out into the world, did it seem like he was more concerned about his own well-being, being around these death traps, or was he, like, does he genuinely think these will be helpful?
He wants them out of his cave, is what it comes down to. It's not about, like, he doesn't feel unsafe around them. They are cluttering things up, and they are making him not comfortable in his home. So he wants to get rid of the debris, basically.
Cool.
Then let's, Jesus. Never thought I'd be in a situation where I should be buying shields for him and shit like that. Wait a minute, we have so much of that stuff.
What stuff?
I mean, not anymore. You've sold.
Oh yeah, we sold a bunch of that shit.
Sold a lot of it.
But you do come across quite a bit.
Yeah.
We now know a place where you can just come to a place and it's really cool, Coney Island. No, it's we have a place we can go and just dump our crap off at, and just be like, here's another load of 3,000 swords. Have fun. And one of these swords is going to cast Fireball randomly on somebody. All right.
I mean, it's practice. Like, it's better to take 100 photos to get the perfect one rather than to try to get one perfect photo.
I will ask Pennyworth and say, hey, if you work on an object long enough, does he get better at doing certain things, or does he just like? Or I'll say Torg. I'll actually ask Torg too. I'll be like, hey, if there's a shield, if we give you like 50 shields.
It's not really based off the specific item, just the process itself overall. So anything that I work on gets me better at working in general over time.
Yeah, and you've already also said that you don't necessarily have a favorite. This isn't Diablo 3. You don't
have to level up shields separately than maces, separately than swords.
And you were saying earlier that you don't necessarily have a favorite thing to work on either. So
no.
So everything's fair game.
I like the idea where we're just gonna start dumping all of our crap off of him.
It just enraged Pennyworth even more. I thought we had a good thing going. No,
fill the pit with all the swords. There's a really easy
2.5.
Right up there.
There's a 50-foot pit. And he's like, no, it's 2.5 feet deep. Like,
it felt like 100 to me.
I can only imagine we're just gonna put all the swords in barrels that are outside, and it's just like keep on filling the same barrels. Like, damn, but there's more swords in here, and like that's just how the exchange goes. And then the next thing we come back to is a bunch of just faulty swords.
Well, there's also merchants that we can sell. There's also merchants that we can sell these things to too.
Only if we know what they
For
do.
exchange.
We need somebody to cast Identify and 75 swords.
He does lean in and he says, if you're really concerned about protecting the region and supporting the Emerald Blades, do keep in mind that swords and weapons are not the only useful tools to protect the people.
What do you suggest?
He says, armor is useful as well, and also shields and other items that can be imbued with exploratory purposes.
I pull out the shield of the dragon. And so what do you feel about this?
I feel like that is already a very magical and dangerous shield.
But even when I look at it with my magical eyes, it's not magical.
I don't know what to tell you. I get the heebie-jeebies from it. I don't know exactly what it does or if it really does anything substantial, but it spooks me.
But he said it's magical, though.
I mean, it's magical in the sense that it's important to the universe in a magical way, but maybe not has a specific thing associated with it that it does or doesn't do.
Christopher Walken, I'm so done with you. So I have I have at least the spear. The spear or lance?
From him, don't you? Or
yeah.
Chainmail? Is it chainmail?
I think it's chainmail. So that I guess we got to keep that then. But I don't have an extra shield. But I have a shield on my arm that apparently is magical in some way, shape, or form. How soon can we get you items that are not that you only need to imbue instead of need to create? How soon would you like to be working on those?
I suppose that's up to you, not me, if you're the one providing the items.
I look at Pennyworth and go, how soon would you like a load of this stuff?
He says, no sooner than the current stuff is gone, please.
Exactly.
Well, we have Marengo and we have Geoff.
We do have a cart, so we could at least make a trip back out to Wind's Hollow to drop off a bunch of the stuff.
Do you have any extra carts here that we could utilize?
He looks around and he says, just
Not
a moment.
Not here. Yeah, I was going to say, like...
Just a moment. And he starts, like, going through the shelves and the drawers and the cabinets. And it takes him, like, 5 or 6 minutes. And he says, no, I don't. I thought I might have something like a boat or a folding chair, a folding wagon, but I guess not.
Are there any
bags? What about the folding boats?
We've got a whole bunch of. We got 9 sheep upstairs. That
don't take my sheep away from me.
Well, we're not taking them.
They miss you, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe I'll go visit them later when we're done.
They'd appreciate that.
But, I mean, why wait until you're done? You wouldn't want to have any regrets if, like, you keep them waiting.
Are you threatening my shit? I don't understand.
No.
Regrets
No,
in
it's
what?
just regrets like,
they miss you.
You know, they missed you. Just like you missed the Emerald Blades, and you want them to be able to come visit you. And we're going to encourage them to, like, maybe have a party here at some point.
Okay. Well, let's, I guess, go. I kind of figured you'd want to talk about magic stuff, but I guess we can go talk to the sheep.
I'm saying, like,
we're talking about social stuff
like,
right now.
You can visit the sheep, like, it's not a now thing, but, like,
no, yeah, I said after we're done here. I meant like right after.
Oh, I thought you meant like after you're done.
Not like after I'm done being a person that exists in a cave. No.
That's how I read it.
Oh, that's not what I meant. No.
I'm sorry. But yeah, so we can definitely take stuff. And you mentioned that like that pit over there is meant to keep people away.
Yeah.
So can it be a little easier for us to is there another way for us to get some of these belongings?
I mean,
and
maybe for you, but maybe for these two also, but the big one's gonna have trouble fitting through the cracks. He says he says the pit's not that tough. All you have to do is not believe it's there.
Oh.
And then
thank you for that info.
And then deal with a 2-foot drop, but you know, that's less than 50.
You think you could do that, Annex?
You're only like 2.5 feet tall, aren't you? That's like
correct.
Your entire...
Yeah, it's my entire body height. Yeah.
I think we can manage that.
Okay.
It felt very real when I was in it, but now that I know it's not real.
That's the point.
Yeah, it's very
I like
convincing.
to think of him just giving
you did a good job on
shit
that
about it. I do think that's hilarious.
Yeah, so maybe let's take a bunch of the stuff, and Annex could take a bunch of stuff, and we could go outside and start loading the cart.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's try it that way.
Unless, once again, you have another way that you'd rather propose.
No. I don't.
Okay.
Go fill up a cart.
You begin to do so, I suppose.
Carefully.
Yeah, I would hope. Super dangerous magics and whatnot.
Walking down the hallway with like just armfuls of swords, just like blades on every angle.
Metal scraps and leather tags and things. Yeah. Yeah, you guys managed to get a bunch of stuff out of the cave. Fill your cart with essentially weapons of mass destruction, potentially. Who knows?
I was really wondering if we were gonna like have the skill challenge to get these weapons out, but I'm so glad.
Is that why you were asking me? I'm just like, yeah, of course we can.
Because the illusion spell only works as you're entering, not as you're leaving. If you'll remember, you saw the pit for what it was once
normal.
you got past it. So,
yeah.
I mean, if you're going to make a lot of trips, you'll have to make a lot of intelligence saves to get back, but
he knows now.
But he knows, yeah, that will give him advantage on the save.
I would like to believe that he just sitting there like you can only see
could constantly just
and he's going like, "Hey guys, like don't just jump into your death," and like that he's just sitting there like holding us with a rope or something. Like, you can do it.
Or we can go in the other way that Torque was just talking about.
Yeah. I don't know how much stuff you'll be able to take with you in the small passageway that fits kobolds.
Yeah, that's a good
point.
Us
are halflings that hold on. Wait, don't let him stop us there. We have three half people.
Yeah, but you take up you need bigger spaces to fit through if you're holding lots of things.
It's true.
Well, how convinced do we need to? You said we're gonna have to do intelligence checks. If we like leave a sign by the front of the pit
isn't
that
real.
says, "Warning: This pit is not real. Don't believe in it."
And
just like stick it to the.
You could also just fly across like how you did before.
That will fundamentally undermine the security purposes of the pit.
Well, I didn't see anyone down there when I was.
Yeah, but maybe some people do go down there. You don't know. Maybe I clean it well. Pennyworth says he does not clean it well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I clean it well. It's disgusting.
So there have been people that fell in the pit.
You're not the first person to discover the secrets of Green Hall. Just the super secrets of Green Hall. I'm the super secret. It's me.
Yeah.
High five.
Okay, I will not leave a sign telling everyone that the pit is not real.
I appreciate it.
It would have just been for us going back and forth, but yeah, that's fine.
It's a short-term sign just for today.
Just for today. So now that we've got some stuff in our cart.
Ooh, no, how about I write a sign in Thieves' Cant that says, Spit, remember the thing that you asked yourself to remember when you got to this point.
Okay.
I feel like I've already forgotten that, and I watched you write it.
You have no.
You're not supposed to remember it. He is. That's probably fine.
Yeah.
We're going to get back to this, and he's going to remember the sign that says, hey, Spit, remember the thing that you're supposed to remember. And you're like, what thing?
Yeah.
So, you while we're going to, at least we're gonna head back to Wind's Hollow. We're gonna take all this stuff with us. If I gave you some arrows, could you like magically do some stuff with them? Maybe.
What do you mean? Do some stuff?
Just imbue them however you like to imbue stuff.
I mean, it's not usually done with ammunition so much as the bow itself, but I suppose I could take a look.
Because you did it with the rocks, where the rocks, like, after you threw them, they got really big.
I did it with the pouch that the pebbles was in.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know how to move that boulder now. It's real big.
I heard there's a horse that can help out.
I'm strong, but not that strong. It's a 4-foot boulder.
Oh, man.
That's a big boulder. Oh, that would have blocked the entrance. That would have been bad.
Yeah, we would have been stuck here forever. Maybe. Maybe I could have figured something out, but it would have taken some time for sure.
Probably.
For sure. Because it's usually the bow. I don't want to give up my bow right now because I don't have an extra bow. And I don't know where to get another bow. And I don't have my tubes with me just yet.
Your boom tubes?
Oh, you want to, like, give him homework?
Well, yeah. Well, I'm thinking, like, if I give him the arrows and he imbues them with, like, something silly every time I fire.
This is my bow and arrow, my bow of grease. Where just, whenever I shoot it, just explodes with grease.
If you, I mean, if you want, I've got my slingshot here. If we wanted to leave that, but I mean,
he says, I could work on the arrows if you want. They'll just not. I mean, they're kind of single-use enchantment guys,
Yeah, never mind about the arrows then, because it would just be a one-time.
But it can be practice, though, because you said that every time you work on something, you get better.
Well, that's true. I guess, yeah, that would make me better at things, because it's been a while.
We're gonna come back and like the arrows, he like hammered it, they're like broken in half, so he had to like tape them back together.
I mean, I'm not a stupid person. I know you can't break arrows and then shoot arrows. That seems pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
If you are up for it, Torque, I can leave you a bunch of arrows so you can practice if you want to.
Yeah, I'll use my judgment.
You'll use your judgments?
I'll use my best judgment to enchant them effectively. You seem to be doubting my judgment, and I don't know if I should be offended.
No. I appreciate your judgment for these things. So I will hand him a quiver of 30 arrows.
Oh, that's 10 bonus arrows in this quiver. They usually come in 20s.
I will hand him 2 quivers of arrows.
Wow.
So I'll give him 40 arrows. And be like, do as you please. It is all right. I have extras. And I point to like the 10 extra packs that are just off my shoulder.
That are glued to you. Sure, I'll take a look. When will you be back to pick them up?
Probably in like, maybe in like 2 or 3 weeks, because Wind's Hollow is a fair time away, because it's about 2-3 days to the tower, and then the tower itself is like another few days.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Hey, did you hear something recently? There was it sounded like a bolt of thunder going on, or lightning and a thing of thunder going off. Did you hear something?
I mean, I heard thunder, but I figured it was just thunder.
Can we hear anything?
That was us.
It may or may not have been me.
What was that, Morning?
I guess I'm wondering like how well sound can be heard from elsewhere, but there's no sound.
I mean,
we can't really hear anything going on because there's no major events going on outside.
Right, not really.
Alfred Pennyworth, he he established that we could hear the clanging through the network of caves.
Yeah.
Right, to make it sound like it was coming from somewhere else. All right.
How big is this network of caves?
Pennyworth says, well, if you're of the right stature, it's, the full extent of it has not been fully explored, I suppose.
So it's not just that area where Torque is set up in.
I mean, there is one exit that I know of in the large area where Torque is set up that is the one that I use when I enter and leave the cave. I don't want to leave too many tracks, as it were, in the tavern itself. That seems to be kind of a dangerous endeavor that would ask for ne'er-do-wells and hooligans and hoodlums to investigate and require me to clean up their broken bones. I will give it to you. No one has managed to outsmart our pit in quite some time. You have come up with, I don't know how long it took you, but clearly you are very intelligent indeed.
Those are words.
I turned into a bird and flew across it.
I stand corrected. You are very stupid. Thank you.
After I fell into it twice.
Even dumber. Wonderful.
All right. Yeah, I would say we're going to be a couple of weeks because we're going to go to Wind's Hollow. We're going to see if they need anything from us there. But we did have plans to travel further west. We know of Bell to the west of here. I believe that's where it's at on the map.
Southwest.
Yeah, it's spooky.
It's spooky, you say?
Yeah, as far as I know, that's where it would have taken pretty substantial powers to sack the city. And, if I were going to take the city, I probably would want to keep it for myself. But, I don't know, maybe you could find ways to infiltrate and enter in secret ways that would be less dangerous than just out in the open.
That's true. That's very true. All right. Well,
so we can make our way over to Wind's Hollow, like we were mentioning. Just make sure before you go back down that you do say hi to the sheep. One mentioned you haven't come out for a while, so they're probably worried about you.
Oh, I suppose I've been a bad pet owner. I've been neglecting my flock, as it were.
They've been pretty self-sufficient, but they did mention you, so, they're in your thoughts.
I expect that was why Dexter took so much effort to make them not just sheep. He was
Dexter?
a very wise and effective monkey.
Oh,
Where
yeah,
did
they
he come
mentioned the
from
monkey.
anyway?
Yeah.
Where did Dexter?
My understanding is a druid did it.
That's right. Do you know where
Dexter is.
Dexter? Yes. That's a better
Dexter
question.
is now a deity in the upper realms.
Oh.
He's the patron saint of awakened animals, like monkeys. He kind of built his own throne, as it were, by awakening several other animals and giving them a need for a deity. There's
What other
several
animals
monkeys.
did he awaken?
Well, Bonkers was a chimpanzee. He's a cleric of Dexter. And then there's a spider monkey, gorilla. There's mostly monkeys. It was a monkey theme. Monkeys and apes. You really,
Where did
variations on a
sheep
theme,
come
as
into
it were.
play?
Well, the sheep came into play because none of us really had time to tend to the sheep, but if the sheep were tending to the sheep, it would make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. But then aside from those, pretty much just monkeys and other monkey types?
A couple of trees occasionally, but they've been long gone for a while. Other than that, I wasn't with him all the time, so
Yeah.
he might have awakened lots of things to cause mischief and whatnot. He was also a bit of a thief.
Of a thief?
Yeah, he had, roguish qualities.
Can the sheep wake up other creatures?
No,
or do they
no,
need to be
we
trained?
haven't. We didn't give the sheep character levels. See, they are not also druid sheep. They're just awakened sheep.
Okay then.
We did not train them in the ways of druids. That would be foolish. They're stupid.
I'll say that around the sheep.
Yeah, they seemed pretty sensitive about it the last time we talked to them.
Yeah, well, I don't know why you. Yeah, they don't have thumbs either. We went over this last week. Sheep can't be effective druids. They don't have thumbs that are opposable. They just have cloven hooves. Hooves. They can't be doing the somatic components with their hooves. It's important. It's one of the three kinds of components for spells: material, verbal, and somatic. And hooves that are cloven, or hooves that are not cloven, for that matter. Difficult. Yeah, satyrs. Satyrs can cast spells. They got the hands and the cloven hooves. Sheep just the hooves.
All right. Well,
No thumbs.
no thumbs.
No.
No thumbs.
Thumbs are
Got
very
it.
important.
They're important to spell casting. Yeah.
And also,
Yeah, how
shooting
could you
arrows.
snap? Oh my goodness.
You can't without thumbs. That's the point.
They can kind of like.
No, that's not.
That's
no.
clapping. That's
Oh,
clapping.
That's clapping
Well, it's
at
kinda
best,
more
and
of
I'd
a-
barely call it that. It's more clacking than anything.
Or clapping.
You'd be better off awakening a crab if you wanted it to cast spells. At least it has two parts of its claws that can move independently. But the sheep, just the hooves, the cloves and the hooves.
I feel like we're missing something here, but I'm not sure. Oh, Torque, you're a really good guy, Torque.
Well,
You're much
thanks.
appreciating. All right, I think we're gonna. I know we hate to leave places, especially after new friends that we just discovered, but we should probably take this lovely pile, this armament that we have, back to Wens Hollow and see if we can get it in the hands of the Emerald Blades or any others who would like to protect the region.
Sure. As you get back on the road, you notice heading west past the Emerald Hall, or past Green Hall, you notice deep boot prints on the path. Going from where you presume the tower was to where you presume Bell to be. They don't look to be familiar boot prints. You don't really know of anything that has used these types of boots before. But they are deeper than you would expect from a general kind of adventurer on the road.
Are they fresh?
Since you've been in Green Hall.
Has it rained at any point?
Presumably, yeah. But...
So did they look? How does it? Are they the depth that if someone were marching through mud, the depth that those tracks would be?
He's saying it's deeper.
They are deeper than you would expect. You also don't see any other tracks. It doesn't look like this road is traveled. It looks like you were the first ones to travel this road in quite some time, other than these boot prints that have appeared. And we can go ahead and investigate those more next week on In the Red. Thanks everybody for hanging out and joining us. We'll see what is happening with boots and cloven hooves next week. Check us out on Patreon. You can be a $3 patron and give these folks a penny every week. You can become a more than $3 Patreon for other benefits that I have still not updated, and will continue promising at some point.
Yeah, it's
I will
next
update,
week.
and probably let you down because I'm a bad friend, guys. Other than that, you can find us right here on Twitch. Subscriptions also get Benny's added to their monthly allotment. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Initiative Coffee Company, Initiative Coffee Co., and Init Coffee Co. You can find us on YouTube, where you can see the re-streams of all of these episodes of In the Red, as well as a few seasons of abruptly abandoned campaign in The Bard's Tale, where you can see some interesting related things, maybe, to tonight's adventure. Other than that, check out fuzzylogicscaperoom.com. Do your corporate events, team building exercises, private, super clean, super independently inhabited in the space escape room adventures where everything is very clean between corporate events. I said that. Oh, they have online stuff that you can do puzzle boxes, and you can do online only escape rooms. They have a brand new escape room as of 6 weeks ago that I have not seen, but I'm sure is awesome because they deigned to get rid of the Legends of the Hidden Temple room to put it in. So it's got to be at least better than that, and that was pretty great.
Peace is the key to your success.
What's that?
Yes.
That's a reference no one's ever going to get. I'm sorry.
The golden piece.
Other than that, hope everyone had a good time. We will see you next week. Until then, have fun, play safe, wear a mask, and as always, until next time, roll together.